All right, I want to talk about Rush, man. Rest in peace, Rush Limbaugh. This is we, man, we Rush was. I actually found out recently. I was talking to my grandmother that my grandfather really liked Rush, and he had a way about him that he didn't hold it back. That dude did not hold back. Now, I didn't watch his show personally, but I remember being like 11 years old watching Power Rangers. Yeah, I watched Power Rangers as a kid. I was 11, okay? What 11-year-old didn't like Power Rangers, right? Anyway, I used to do, jump around my mom's, my mom used to work at a chiropractic office in Philadelphia. She would do the artwork and the newsletter for them. I think that's what her job was. Anyway, I would always go into the doctor's office at like 4:30. Power Rangers was on, and then at 5, the channel or whatever station I was watching it on switched from cartoons to news, and the Rush Limbaugh show would go on. And I just remember being so bored. But remember, I was 11. Anyway, that's my little story about Rush Limbaugh. Regardless, though, it's he passed away today, and he meant a lot to a lot of people out there. And actually, this is of course, it's a UK magazine, Daily Mail, but they did a really good job of summing up a lot of Rush Limbaugh. Conservative host Rush Limbaugh dies, age 70, 1 year after announcing stage 4 lung cancer. It's a shame. See, news of Limbaugh's death was announced by his wife, Catherine, on his radio show. I know that I am most certainly not the Limbaugh that you tuned in to listen to today, Catherine, who was married to Limbaugh for a decade, told his viewers. I, like you, very much wish Rush was behind this golden microphone right now, welcoming you to another exceptional 3 hours of broadcasting. It is with profound sadness I must share with you directly that our beloved Rush, my wonderful husband, passed away this morning due to complications from lung cancer. Limbaugh, who pioneered the conservative media revolution, had been diagnosed with stage 4 advanced lung cancer back in February 2020. Days after revealing he had cancer, Limbaugh attended President Donald Trump's State of the Union, where he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Honor. First Lady Melania Trump presented him with the nation's highest civilian honor after her husband lauded Limbaugh as a special man beloved by millions of Americans and the greatest fighter and winner that you will ever meet. And here's Rush behind that golden microphone. And then this is him actually at the State of the Union with Melania next to him. Limbaugh was one of Trump's most ardent supporters. In his first interview since leaving office, Trump on Wednesday paid tribute to Limbaugh in a phone interview with Fox News. He said, Rush is irreplaceable, unique. He had an audience that was massive. People, whether they loved him or not, they respected him. And I had to stop right there. When I was reading this, and I was like, you know what? That doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel real. I had been on, I'm on Twitter. I'm watching what was going on, and it was sad to see the way that people were celebrating his death. And I just have a few examples. Like I'm not gonna get into it too deeply, but I mean, oh man, I just accidentally closed that. Hold on one second. Well, actually I could bring this one up. Look at this. So this is from Jack Posobiec. Remember what you said about RGB, Ruth Bader Ginsburg? I am so happy right now. And Jack said, my followers and I held prayers for Ruth Bader Ginsburg when she fell ill. You are in a cult. Yeah. I mean, when I heard that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, it was a shame. Like I said, man, she was like a fighter. I thought she was going to live forever. Like that she was working out. She seemed like she could just beat anything. She beat cancer, I think, a couple times before she died. And I was like, right on. And I remember, and I'm looking back in my brain, I'm like trying to figure, like, who was making fun of Ruth Bader Ginsburg when she died? Who was claiming that they were happy? I don't remember anyone, and not one person. And then we got this tweet by yours. You know him best as Tim Cast. I'll just pull this up real quick. When Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, I saw tons of right-wing hate being flung at her and her supporters. It was awful. Stop demonizing your neighbors. Okay. It's something that Tim does. Sometimes you're not sure if he's being sarcastic or, on the nose or, what he's doing. So I'm not sure what this is. But man, of course, the comments are, here's Ian Miles Chong said, I don't recall that from any mainstream conservatives. I don't either. From mainstream conservatives? Carlin says, I do. Tim is right. And the right on Twitter reacted to Ruth Bader Ginsburg's death exactly like the left is reacting to Rush's death. It was gross then, and just like it's gross now. No, if anything, and I said, I was looking back, I'm trying to think of like what was going on. I remember people making fun of the people freaking out that Trump was trying to was going to replace her. How dare they do that? The right was making fun of the people that were freaking out that she died. I don't remember anyone speaking ill of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I would like to see those tweets. If you have evidence of that, give it to me, please. Come to my locals page, adamcastirl.locals.com. It's way easier for me to see instead of my Twitter mentions. It's impossible to go through. It's very difficult. I don't go through my mentions anymore. I very rarely. So if you do have it, please just go to my locals and post. Just throw a post up there. I would like to see it. Okay, because I don't recall seeing it. Just like Ian says, I don't recall seeing that. And Carlin, people were hitting her up. Well, post it. Prove it. Prove it then. She's like, well, I'm not going to go back and prove it to you. And it's like, well, I kind of want to see it myself because I don't believe it. I was very into Twitter. I was very heavily, a Twitter user because I'm constantly reading news. I follow different senators. I follow different trusted journalists that I've grown to trust their, insight on things of what's going on this world. And I don't remember this. And I'm thinking about this Tim Pool tweet, and it's like, you know what? I think that's the if you just drop at her, be flung at her supporters, that I do remember. See, that makes more sense. Now we compare what's going on today. People were not yelling at Rush's supporters, okay? They were straight up calling out. Actually, look, we got, I just want to show Salty Cracker. Shout out to the Salty crew, Salty Army. I sure did mock the situation, but I don't pretend to be morally superior. The left's whole branding is how much better they are because they feel so much. Then they tap dance when one of us die. That's the difference. He's absolutely right. We're not acting moral. No one acted morally superior because Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. It was a shame that she died. She was a boss. I fully admit it. Like Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a boss. Like she was. I didn't think she was going to die. To be honest, I thought she was going to last a lot longer, and I thought it was a shame. It's a shame when anyone dies. I mean, that's a simple fact. But man, look at these freaking tweets. Now this, actually, I deleted this one, or I didn't delete it, I took a screenshot because I thought that it wasn't going to be around. Look at this. Happy Rush Limbaugh is dead day. I didn't even get the chance to put my tree up. I hope hell is him having to listen to every episode of his show. My goodness. Blue check mark Twitter. And then now this, of course, they are very out there too. Conservative commentator Rush Limbaugh has died at the age of 70 following a battle with lung cancer. During his decades-long media career, he used his platform to promote racism, Islamophobia, misogyny, and conspiracy theories. Oh my gosh. Just, how do they, al-Baghdadi? No, what's his name? I don't remember. There was actually maybe that was what they were saying. Some sort of they treated him like a prophet, even though he killed killed hundreds of people. But they glorified him in the news. But when someone like this died, they're like, I want to put my tree up and celebrate this. It was man, hold on. I got to pull up Chandler's. I want to shout out Chandler Crump because he had a good tweet that I accidentally deleted. All right, so let's see. Where is it? Yeah, he just wrote. Oh, here it is. Twitter really is a disgusting place. Good riddance. Radio personality Rush Limbaugh dies at 70, trending with Rush Limbaugh, and good riddance. Also, Rest in Piss was trending. What else was trending with it? It doesn't matter. It's ridiculous. It's disgusting. Yeah, maybe Soleimani. That's what I was. Thank you, Dinglebert. Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, austere scholar. They called him. They called him an austere scholar. Thank you, Kyle. Shout out to the chat for helping me figure that out. Yeah, the austere scholar. It's like, what? They glorified this man that killed people, and yet when Rush Limbaugh dies, who was just a conservative commentator, okay, sure, maybe you don't agree with everything he said. Now, I can't say that I do, but you know, he still was a straight shooter. He still said things that called people out and made you think critically. You know, how do you know what is hate speech, what is not hate speech, what is proper language versus non-proper language? What is something that, you know, makes you think critically about a situation? You know, are you going to find yourself in an echo chamber? All I know from what I've heard and read about Rush Limbaugh today is he didn't hold anything back. And I like that in somebody who can give you the full honest truth of what they're thinking with no regard to anyone else. It's like, look, well, at a point you could be rude, right? And maybe he was rude a couple times, but to celebrate his death, it's ridiculous. You know, I've heard plenty of stories from people that I know, you know, in my Discord, on Twitter, of people that are just saying like, man, I wouldn't be here without him. Mike Pence said in the Senate in 2001, I would not be here if it wasn't for Rush Limbaugh. Look at this. Kayleigh McEnany remembers Rush Limbaugh. I am the definition of a Rush baby. She says, America has lost a giant of conservatism, a man who inspired tens of thousands of Rush babies like me to enter politics and media. I can say without hesitation, I would not have entered this field if it were not for those rides in my dad's pickup truck listening to Rush. Amazing. Thank you, because she's fantastic. She's great. I would love for her to run. She was always on top of every single topic, unlike the new press secretary who feels like she doesn't know anything and is making stuff up. Like, she really reminds me of... Never mind, I'm not going to say that. That's... Yeah, I like to stay optimistic. Yeah, it's man, it's a shame that this is where we are at right now. And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Gina Carano. Bear with me. I'm going to bring this up. This was her tweet that got her fired. She was calling about, because history is edited, most people today don't realize that they get to the point where the Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews. The government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different than hating someone for their political views? She wasn't comparing being a conservative to the Holocaust. That's what leftist Twitter is screeching about right now. That's not what it was. She's saying this is what leads to that, is the powers that be manipulating people to hate others. They hate Rush Limbaugh. They hate him. They're celebrating his death because he was a conservative and believed views that they didn't believe in. That's exactly what she was talking about. She was right. It is leading to that. People do hate each other right now, and it is a shame. We need to step down from the hate, stop hating each other, and realizing that we all have issues. We all have problems, right? Everyone goes through, life sucks sometimes. That's also a fact. Life can suck for literally everyone. You can't convince me otherwise.